Claude Opus 5 is here, and we see that it's beating out Fable 5 in a few different areas. But today we're not going to be just going over the basic benchmarks. We're going to be testing to see how well this thing makes video games. We're going to be testing out 3 different games to see beyond the benchmarks, and let's get right into it. Starting off, I wanted to make a Spider-Man themed one. With the movie coming out pretty soon, I thought it'd be pretty cool to make a game, so I gave it this prompt right here about making Spider-Man themed game, where I wanted to swing around the level and make it a 3D style game. And I went ahead and did that, and after 30-40 minutes I got back this, and this actually looks pretty good. I would say it looks something like a Roblox Minecraft-esque game, but I'm able to go around the city and find enemies and then clear them out. I will say that at first I thought it was a bug because I was having trouble swinging around. Then I realized it was just a skill issue and I had to lock in. But after I locked in, look at this. The swings are pretty clean if you ask me. And then one thing that they did add was a big bad at the end, which ended up being this giant person. All the enemies were pretty easy to beat. It didn't really have too much difficulty in beating it, and that was one prompt making this. I will say that it didn't really seem like the characters that I had too much feeling when it came to this. The design could be a lot better. I could definitely add assets to this. If I do it again, I may slow down and actually try to make the best game I can make with AI. But without further ado, let's get to the second game, which of course I had to come back with Call of Duty, but I want to do Call of Duty Zombies, where I asked AI to make me a Call of Duty Zombies level that has different type of power-ups, options to buy guns off the wall, and the zombies being able to drop different power-ups, with me being able to unlock rooms. And they even asked me a lot of these questions, and I let it go. And later on, probably 30-40 minutes later, I got back this, where you see the zombies, they do spawn out of the ground, and you can see that it's not too bad if you ask me. It's coming out of the ground, and they're bots. They're definitely not tracking my movements based on where I move left or right, but what I'm able to see is that they do drop these type of power-ups, double points, these insta kills, and sometimes a nuke that just clears the wave out immediately. Able to unlock different levels so I can go to different places, and in these different levels, just like in the real zombies, you have the juggernauts that you can drink from and some of these other power-up boosters. I was able to get an MP4 and really just mag dump on a lot of these zombies. I will say I'm not a mouse and keyboard person, so it definitely took me a lot of trial and error to figure out how to get here. I actually struggled with a lot of the waves. I had to restart over a lot of times, but overall I did think it made a pretty decent Call of Duty. I think my criticism for this is you can't really see the gun that you're using, and it's all first person, so I'm just based on whatever gun I buy, it shoots just differently, or I may have 1 or 2 ammo, or they hit harder. But as far as the look and feel, and there's no kickback in recoil for this, but still not bad for Opus 5. But I'll give you my thoughts about how I think this compares to Claude Fable 5 here in a little bit. But let's get into the last game, which I gotta do a classic Mario 2D scroller. And I think this game, once I gave it this prompt, it went off in about 40 minutes. I got back this, and well, I would say this is the more impressive showing, I feel like, out of the 3, where this does really feel like a Mario game. If I had to be honest, it felt so good because it's one full complete level, but this level is pretty jam-packed with different Mario accessories. For instance, I can go and jump in these mystery boxes and get coins. The platforms are stacked perfectly, so I can climb on top of different platforms in order to get different power-ups or get coins on a higher level. And not only that, they have power-ups. Not just the mushroom, which was the first one you get, and it makes me a bigger person and gives me a 2-hit box before, well, Mario dies. But on top of that, when I went further in the level, I actually was able to get the fire flower, which I'm also able to get, and I'm also able to get these freaking fireballs to shoot at these enemies. And they also added a star here, so I can get the star and be invincible and just run into these enemies, which were pretty cool. I think that was pretty strong to have in this for a Mario level. They kind of added a lot of features in one level, and they even gave me 3 lives like a classic Mario game, and even gave me a life mushroom, which was this green one, which allowed me to, well, if I got injured or harmed and I had to reset over, I'll have another life to do it all over again. And I thought that was pretty good, pretty straightforward level design. Even with Opus 5, what I really liked about this one was that on top of the level, there's other coins in other places to get these different coins. I was able to access this using the run and jump mechanic to get on these levels, but sometimes AI messes up how high you can jump or how fast you can run and jump to get on those. So you may have a box or a coin on top of these platforms that you can never get to. But one shot with Opus 5 is, well, actually letting me get to this, which I thought was pretty good. It was one level, but it was a clean level. Overall, my thoughts on this was Opus 5 isn't bad at all. I do think the Mario game was the more impressive showing, and I do think the Call of Duty level was pretty good too, because it's a bigger environment. Gates, I had to buy things. I had to keep in mind the inventory that I had. I can keep up to 2 weapons and switch between them. I can run out of bullets, and zombies kind of responded just like how normal zombies do, where they'll get in like a line and you can just bait them and have them just chase you around the map while you just mag dumping them. Overall, I do think that these were pretty cool of things to do when it came to these Mario games. Well, at least with Call of Duty and the Mario one. Spider-Man, I do think a little characteristic. The design was very weak. I feel like, bro, just had the red and blue outfit, bro. Come on. And the swinging mechanic was definitely hard to do. Even after I played around with it a little bit, it was still difficult to do the swinging mechanic. I'm pretty sure if I gave another swing at it, or if I actually have like auto swing mechanic or something like that, so I'll have to time the jump with the swing as well as this keyboard and mouse. It's really hard to do, at least for me. I'm a controller player. It didn't turn out too bad if you ask me overall. But when I put it up against Fable 5, I'm not sure if Fable 5 is being dethroned by this. And even though they have these benchmarks that say it's better than Fable 5 when it comes to tool calling and everything like that, I did run into issues with Opus. One of the issues was I kept on getting this API error. I'm not sure if that was an Opus issue or the stack that they were using in order to make these video games. Either way, it was quite annoying. A lot of retrying to get this. Still one prompt, one shot, but that API issue, I wasn't sure if that's an Anthropic issue or something totally different. And if you've seen my video on Fable 5, which you probably should see, I think Fable 5 just makes better video games in general. They feel really good. They feel like very much more polished of a game. But Opus 5 isn't a slouch at all. And Opus 5 is like half the price. I would say Opus 5 is 80% of Fable 5 when it comes to output, but half the price. So I feel like that ratio isn't a bad ratio if you think about it. But thinking about comparing Fable 5 and Opus 5 in another head-to-head video. If you want me to do that video, you should definitely like and subscribe. And if you want to see Fable 5 do video games that I did in the past, you should definitely check out the video pinned in the top comment section. Either way, if you want to see cool AI videos and tests and updates, you should definitely like and subscribe. With that being said, your boy Dexter out.